ladies and gentlemen, in a scaled-down version, a society's culture and its sentiments. A comic book offers a unique opportunity to inform and guide our children about what supports the sustenance, growth, and advancement of the country. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrates 75 years of independence, and exactly 75 years ago, the first edition of Chanda Mama, one of the oldest comic books in the country, was released in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Madam, it is a matter of great pride that the Income Tax Department, inspired by your guidance and during the celebrations of Amrit Mahotsav, has conceptualized and designed a set of 3 comic books. The comic books, through the world-renowned Indian characters of Motu and Patlu, endeavor to ingrain in the minds of today's children the importance of fulfilling a crucial duty, that is paying taxes. Through the use of Motu and Patlu's distinctive dialogue, the hilarious interaction with their friends, and 3 new characters, Tax Pari, Jankari Babu, and Taxa, an artificial intelligence-based virtual tax assistant, the department marks the commencement of a new medium of outreach. Keeping in mind the Prime Minister's vision of transforming India into a digitally empowered knowledge economy, the comic book series is digital. The department's comic book series, Madam, is in India's regional languages, including Hindi, English, Gujarati, Tamil, and Telugu, soon to expand to other languages as well. I request the Honorable Finance Minister to launch the digital comic books by pressing the button. Thank you, sir. In 2021, the Honorable Prime Minister had called on the people of the nation to nurture and strengthen the toy economy of the country. Highlighting the gaming industry's ability to bring progress and growth by creating jobs, sparking innovation, and creating new modes of employment. Inspired by this call and the vision of imparting to the taxpayers of tomorrow an understanding of taxes, the Income Tax Department has conceived a puzzle which motivates students by incorporating game design and game elements in learning environments to capture their interest and inspire them to continue learning. It is a proud moment for the department, Madam, as it takes today, under your visionary leadership, the first steps towards gamifying tax education. The first game, Snakes, Ladders, and Taxes, utilizes the timeless template of Snakes and Ladders to explain the significance of tax-compliant behavior to children. As they roll the dice, the snakes and the ladders in the game inform the children of the rights and the wrongs in the world of paying taxes. Snakes, Ladders, and Taxes is being produced in regional languages, including Hindi, Telugu, and Tamil, soon to expand in other regional languages as well. I now request the Honorable Finance Minister to inaugurate the department's first foray into gaming by digitally launching Snakes, Ladders, and Taxes by pressing the button.
The Income Tax Department has come up with an interesting game for kids, Snakes, Ladders, and Taxes. Through this game, the children will learn about the importance of income tax, as how income tax plays an important role in the development of the country. After 25 years, that is, in 2047, India will complete 100 years of independence, and today's kids will become responsible taxpayers of the country. So let's try playing this interesting game. Great! You have stopped your friend from paying cash to purchase a laptop. For this great job of yours, you will get a chance to climb up the ladder. Clean money creates a healthy society. Alert! There is an income tax surge at your place. Black money has been seized from your home after the income tax surge. Black money is not good for the country. Had fun, right? In reality, when we are paying income tax on time, we are contributing towards nation building. This should be taught to the future generation also. For this, an interesting game like snakes, ladders and taxes is the most easy and suitable way. Every taxpayer is a nation builder.
Thank you, sir. The second game, Building India, demonstrates the participative nature of taxation and the country's infrastructure through a synthesis of memory challenges and collaborative gameplay. Just like paying taxes, where every single person's contribution is crucial to the development of society, in Building India, the players work together to collaborate and use their memory to keep India strong, safe and resilient. Madam, may I request you to digitally launch Building India, the second board game of our series, by pressing the button.
PM Kisan, PM Awas. Different card. Your turn, Raju. Wow, same card. सागरमाला. अब ये दोनों कार्ड मेरे हुए और ये टोकन मैं बोर्ड पर लगा देता हूँ.
ये कौन सा खेल खेल रहे हैं और ये कैसे खेला जाता है?
बिल्डिंग इंडिया गेम इसे आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के दौरान आयकर विभाग ने बनाया है ताकि बच्चे आयकर के महत्व के बारे में शिक्षित हो सकें। बिल्डिंग इंडिया गेम, 1 game board, 25 tokens, 1 हैप्पीनेस टोकन, 50 कार्ड्स। इसे खेलना बहुत आसान है। गेम बोर्ड को टेबल पर रखिए। हर खिलाड़ी 2 कार्ड उठाएंगे। अलग अलग कार्ड होने पर कार्ड वापस रख देंगे। दोनों कार्ड सेम होने पर खिलाड़ी गेम बोर्ड पर एक टोकन लगाएगा। साथ ही हैप्पीनेस टोकन नीचे की तरफ आएगा। खिलाड़ी ये कार्ड अपने पास रख लेगा। खेल के अंत में जिस खिलाड़ी के पास सबसे ज्यादा कार्ड होंगे वो विनर माना जाएगा।
बिल्डिंग इंडिया गेम मैं भी अपने बच्चों के लिए आज ही लाऊंगा।
मैं जीत गया।
बिल्डिंग इंडिया गेम आज के बच्चे बनेंगे 2047 के आयकर दाता। आज सीखेंगे, कल अपनाएंगे, नया भारत बनाएंगे। बिल्डिंग इंडिया गेम की तैयारी, विकास का सफर है जारी।
Thank you, sir. India Gate, a 3D puzzle, educates children about the fundamental building blocks of taxation while augmenting spatial awareness and hand-eye coordination. Brick by brick, as they build the monument, they will be introduced to how taxes are the very bricks out of which the physical and social infrastructure of the country is built. India Gate 3D puzzle is being produced in regional languages, including Hindi, Telugu and Tamil, soon to expand in other regional languages as well. It is my honor to request the Honorable Finance Minister to digitally launch India Gate 3D puzzle by pressing the button.
The Income Tax Department has come up with an informative game for children. India Gate 3D Puzzle. By playing this game, children will be able to understand how income tax paid by us plays a crucial role in the growth and development of our country. So, let's try playing this interesting game. It also needs to spend every month for roads, airports, fuel and food grains. So, income tax is paid by people at regular intervals and is known as advance tax. And now our puzzle is complete. Had fun, right? In reality, when we are paying income tax on time, we are contributing towards nation building. This should also be taught to the future generation. And for this, a game like India Gate, every taxpayer is a nation builder.
Thank you, madam. While the comic books shall be digitally available on our portals for ease of access by children across the country. We have a set of books printed and ready, waiting to be launched. May I request you, madam, to inaugurate the books and set in motion this new medium of outreach of the Income Tax Department. Digitally, we also have the games manufactured and ready to be inaugurated. Shortly, these games would be dispatched to the various field formations of the Income Tax Department to be distributed to schools across the length and breadth of the country. I now request you, madam, to inaugurate the physical board games. Thank you, madam. We have with us today the taxpayers of 2047. In the 9th standard today, they are aspiring young children of the country who would be honored to receive the board games and the comic books from you, madam. I invite Kartikeya, Aryan, Amrusha, Sia and Rakshita from the L.D. Samant Memorial High School and Riddhi, Anika, Prutharth, Prajwal and Riya from the Sharada Mandir School to come onto the dais and receive the board games and the comic books from the Honorable Finance Minister. Madam, may I request you to kindly hand over the board games and the comic books to the school children. Thank you, ma'am. Most great civilizations are characterized by the advancement and the diversity of their art forms. In a country like ours, with more than 7,000 kilometers of golden undulating stretches of coastline, it was only a matter of time before an art form emerged. It is said that about 700 years ago, along the beaches of Puri in Odisha, sand art took birth as a unique art form. Using only sand, water, and tremendous amounts of dedication, Indian sand artists have been able to carve a niche for themselves in this field. One name that stands out is that of Shri Sudarshan Patnaik. Having spent his childhood playing on the sands of the Puri beach, he pursued his passion for sand art with an indomitable will. He has used sand art as a medium to create social awareness amongst people on topics as wide and as important as world peace, protection of wildlife, terrorism, and global warming, which have been extensively covered by national and international media. As a recognition of his achievements, the Government of India honored him with the Padma Shri in 2014. Today, to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Income Tax Department has partnered with Shri Sudarshan Patnaik. This sand art commemorates the contribution of the Income Tax Department and the taxpayers to nation building, which is reflected in the growth in direct tax collections from rupees 88 crores in 1947 to rupees 14,09,000 crores. In 2022. Shri Sudarshan Patnaik and Team Income Tax Odisha are presently at the site of the sand art and are keenly looking forward to the inauguration. Madam, due to inclement weather in Odisha, the sound and video reception may not be at their best. Installation and dedicated to the nation by pressing the button.
Good evening, madam. I take this opportunity to virtually invite the Honorable Union Minister, Finance and Corporate Affairs, Knowledge established by Lal Shankar Acharya, and I present Mr. Sudarshan Patnaik to you, madam. He is here.
Yes, ma'am, you can.
समुंदर के तट पर दिखाया कुछ उसके बारे में, उसके लिए आपने कितनी भी मेहनत उठाई सुबह से, आप एक्सप्लेन कर पाएंगे?
नमस्ते ऑनरेबल मैडम। 2 दिन से हम लोग के साइंस स्कल्पचर प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं। भले ही यहाँ पर पुरी में थोड़ा वेदर कंडीशन खराब है, बट इसके साथ लॉर्ड जगन्नाथ जी का ब्लेसिंग्स हमारे साथ रहे। और मैं मेरे साथ जो हमारे सैंड आर्ट के स्कूल के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, हमारे साथ मिलके हम लोगों ने 2 दिन से ये प्रिपरेशन किया। और इसमें हमने सैंड में दिखाया कि अराउंड 50 टन्स ऑफ सैंड यूज हुआ है स्कल्पचर्स बनाने के लिए। और आज़ादी से अभी तक जो डेवलपमेंट हुआ उसी को रेत के थ्रू ये स्कल्पचर्स बनाया है। और जैसे कि पूरी बीच का जो सैंड है वो हमारे लिए होली सैंड है, और वो होली सैंड को जोड़ जोड़ के जो भारत की जो डेवलपमेंट हुई है आज़ादी से अभी तक, उसी को हम लोगों ने क्रिएट किया है।
आपके साथ जो स्कूल के बच्चे आप बोल रहे थे, वो बच्चे हैं आपके साथ अभी?
एक थोड़ा दूर में है।
कैमरा उधर तक नहीं जा पाएगा, क्योंकि उन बच्चों को भी हम सब बधाई देना चाहते हैं कि एक कलाकार के साथ टैक्स के विषय में इतने से पार्टिसिपेशन उन्होंने किया, वो भी अच्छा होगा।
सही। इसमें मैडम लिखा है कैसे, और इसमें स्पेशली कलर सैंड भी यूज किए हैं स्कल्पचर्स में।
थोड़ा बताइए।
ये कलर सैंड भी यूज किए हैं, और इसमें जो डिफरेंट कलर्स का सैंड होता है, एक्चुअली सैंड आर्ट पूरी में 14th सेंचुरी में शुरू हुआ था। उसके बाद जब हमने इंटरनेशनली देखा कि सैंड के वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप होता है और इतने सारे कंपटीशंस होता है जहाँ पर देश विदेश से बहुत सारे स्कल्पटर्स आते हैं, तो हमने कोशिश किया कि कैसे थोड़ा डिफरेंट कर सकते हैं। तो इसलिए हम लोगों ने कलर सैंड क्रिएट किया, जो सैंड के ऊपर इसको डेकोरेटिवली यूज करते हैं, और उसके बाद फिर इसको रख के नेक्स्ट स्कल्पचर्स पे यूज करते हैं। और सैंड में इसी पूरी बीच में हम लोगों ने अराउंड 8 वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स क्रिएट किए हैं, इंक्लूडिंग गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स, और वर्ल्ड की डिफरेंट प्लेसेस में भी हमने बहुत सारे स्कल्पचर्स किए हैं। जब जीएसटी लॉन्च हुआ था, हमने बहुत बड़ा स्कल्पचर्स पूरी बीच में वेलकम करके भी यहाँ पर स्कल्पचर्स हम लोगों ने क्रिएट किया था। ऐसा all 9 boys are joined, madam.
आपका नाम मुझे शायद बताया नहीं है, लेकिन मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा और मैडम भी आपसे पूछना चाहती हैं, क्या ये आप करते हैं या स्पेशली इसके लिए आप आए थे, या आपका ये शौक है और आप हमेशा आके करते हैं? बच्चों में से कोई बोलेगा?
नमस्कार है, और हम सभी सर के स्टूडेंट्स हैं। हमारे शौक से यहाँ पर काम करने आते हैं, आर्ट का शौकीन है तो प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए आते हैं। थैंक यू।
आपके साथी और कोई बोलना चाहते हैं?
जी, नमस्ते मैम।
नमस्ते।
मेरा नाम शुभश्री मिश्रा है। हम लोग 2 दिन से ये आर्ट बना रहे हैं। हम सारे के स्टूडेंट हैं, यहाँ पे रोज प्रैक्टिस करते हैं बीच पे सैंड आर्ट, और हम सब ने मिलकर ये आर्ट बनाया है।
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा, बधाई हो।
नमस्कार मैडम, मैं एक आर्टिस्ट ऐसे हैं जो मालकानगिरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट से आए हैं, यहाँ से बहुत दूर है, और वो जिस गांव से आए हैं बेसिकली वो यहाँ से इतना दूर है, और वो पहाड़ जगह है जहाँ रेत नहीं है, और वो आके यहाँ पर रह के यहाँ पर पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं और साइंस स्कल्पचर भी कर रहे हैं। मैं उनको 1 सेकंड के लिए दे रहा हूँ थोड़ा इनका।
मैडम नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
मेरा नाम मुक्का कबासी, मैं मालकानगिरी से आया, साउथ ओडिशा।
वेरी नाइस, बॉर्डरिंग विद आंध्रा।
जी
हाँ,
आंध्रा एंड तेलंगाना।
आंध्रा एंड तेलंगाना। आपको इसमें कैसे रुचि, आपको रेत के आर्ट में कैसे इंटरेस्ट बना?
तो मैं एक संवाद पेपर में सुदर्शन जी सर का मैं देखा संकल्प, वो देखकर मैं पूरी आया।
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा। और इसमें और आगे बढ़ना चाहते हो आप?
जी
बहुत बढ़िया, वेल डन।
थैंक यू।
आप सबको बधाई। एक बार सुदर्शन जी, आपके शिष्य सबका नाम एक बार उनसे कहलवा दीजिए।
नमस्ते मैम, शुभश्री मिश्रा।
यस,
सनु कबासी, मुक्का कबासी, राहुल सरदार,
निवेदिता मिश्रा, सरस्वती भोई, स्वाति सोगतिया राव, स्वप्ना गुमान सिंह, तीसरी मिश्रा, अस्मिता नायक, अनिशा मोदली, दीप्तिमयी प्रधान।
सबको बधाई हो। इधर के तालियां आपको सुनाई दे रही है? धन्यवाद, आप सबको धन्यवाद। बहुत शानदार कला आपने दिखाया उधर रेत से। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you very much for giving opportunity to the Odisha Income Tax Department. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As we commence this journey through Amrit Kal, the department takes this opportunity to rededicate itself to its core values, including integrity, innovation, and professionalism. With the continued guidance of the Honorable Finance Minister, the department shall strive to serve the nation with utmost dedication. Respected Madam, this concludes CBDT's iconic event. Namaskar.
What a sweep we've made today. From ancient artifacts of taxation to sand sculptures to future taxpayers. Change, as they say, is the only constant. Both CBIC and CBDT have been in a relentless state of evolution. They are almost unrecognizable today from the times they were conceived in. Joining CBIC as a probation, application forms in duplicates and triplicates. And here we are in an age of faceless assessment in income tax and customs and completely online systems in GST. But always the thought processes of both the departments have been aligned with what is best for the taxpayers. We in the Department of Revenue understand that when compliances are made easier, the taxpayers reward you with an increasing tax base and record-breaking collections.
Affairs Minister of India, a very dynamic Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Mr. Ajay Seth, Economic Affairs Secretary, Sangeeta Singh, Chairperson, CBDT, Mr. Tarun Bajaj, our Revenue Secretary, Mr. Vivek Jory, the Goa government, the members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Iconic celebrations of Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav. And what a better way to do than launch a national museum by the Finance Ministry of Customs and our GST. I think this is going to be a golden moment in the chapter of Goa. We are a tourism state. Anything that comes up first, anything that adds value to what is to be seen in Goa, and as far as our lovely state is concerned, I think it is a wonderful thing. And looking at the various things presented to us, what does it show? Our country has everything. We are rich in every sense of the word. To get it together in a manner that we ourselves know and learn about it, build on from there, inculcate a good tax culture even among the future of tomorrow, the young children, to bring this in this particular form. I think you all will agree with me. It needs real leadership to marshal your forces, to marshal all your departments, to get the best out of all your officers. I think this is no easy task. And we must compliment. I congratulate the Minister for having been nominated again in the Rajya Sabha yesterday, for getting elected yesterday. Ma'am, today I congratulate you. We are talking of the iconic week, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I thank God that there are iconic people like you to run the Finance Ministry. I have seen you working from very close quarters in the GST Council. I have been a GST Council member for long. Diverse opinions that there are. In a democracy, they have to be. The way the discussions take place, the way members bring to the fore certain issues, it looks like there is going to be a breaking point. We will not be able to move further. But with the leadership of Nirmala Sitharaman ji, we have been able to cross that. I also recollect the late Arun Jaitley ji. And in today's times, when there is I would say, politically people, the daggers are drawn, it's high time we think about our country. It's high time we all think together, at least when our country is concerned. And that is what the GST is. In fact, GST Council functioning, the GST body which is constitutionally constituted, I would say is the best example of a federating structure. The states and the center coming together. But sometimes we, for sometimes narrow political reasons, while having discussions, we think only narrowly about our state interest. We forget that we have to think about the country. And the central ministers, again I will say another iconic Prime Minister, a person who is a tall world leader today, Shri Narendra Modi ji and Nirmala ji, have taken the task upon themselves of bringing reforms. GST is one of the biggest reforms, as all of you know, I know. But how many of us recognize the hard work that goes behind that, the deep study that goes behind it? Today, yes, I am happy because such a museum has come up here. GST also has been depicted so well. I was so thrilled, in fact, because I have been associated with GST. And if I am so thrilled, what do you imagine other people when they go, what they will feel there? This is really a very historic moment for my state. And I want to also place on record here, the 37th GST Council meeting also had taken place in Goa. And I will say one thing, whenever something happens in Goa, Goa is a place where you will get fresh ideas. These are the times for out of the box thinking. You get refreshed automatically, you will get better ideas, and you will get some new thing which will propel you, your ministry, and something for the country and the nation. And that is what I have seen. happening when the top scientists have come, the top engineers have come, various conferences. I have been privy to them telling me privately, there's some magic here. Kerala says, all the Kerala state always says, it's God's own country. I say God dwells in Goa, in my state. Therefore, it will always propel good in any human being. And that is what I think has happened while celebrating this iconic week. I think the finance ministry has done wonderful programs. I don't want to go into detail. You have seen it pictorially, you have seen it on the screen. But building is only then such celebration of such iconic weeks and programs by finance ministry will be even more meaningful. Look at somebody in Puri, a person from the hilly area coming and helping his person who is actually doing it, the main sir of his. What does it show? That children have come of age. There is everything available in our country. We only have to polish that rough diamond. We have to make it shine. We have to make it priceless. In the past, our history tells us we were a stolen nation. Every treasure was stolen from this country. Today we have enough we have to make it shine. We have to get it out, make it shine. And we have to think as one to take the country forward. And that is what I have also learned. Decision that has been taken till date today has been by consensus. Thanks to the leadership again. Because it is not so easy to get everybody to agree. And it is not that I am trying to sing praises. Even when Goa required help, Honorable Finance Minister has always come to the rescue. I have been making a case for smaller states, that big states need big money. Our smaller states, little money you give, we are able to do miracles. And today, everybody, ma'am, I want to tell you, today is the most preferred destination. We have come out of the pandemic. You have seen how you have helped yourself. We must compliment madam for another thing. During the COVID period, wherever exemptions were required, wherever those particular equipments were required, wherever tax rebates were required, wherever customs exemptions were required, the speed with which she worked helped us overcome COVID. It has not happened in a day. It was hard work from your ministry as well, with you as well at the helm. I want to place it on record. These are the type of ministers we have in this government. I am proud of it and to be associated and work together. As far as Goa is concerned, ma'am, you have, I remember at the 37th GST Council meeting, you were kind enough to even, I did it for the whole country and building tourism in the entire country. From 28 it became 18, which today the whole industry talks. Though they had asked for 12%, they are still happy and tourism has been built up from there brick by brick. Today we can compare our rates with other places in the world. Today it is a very competitive world. We have to rise up to that occasion. And as far as Goa is concerned, ma'am, our compensation, though I should not say it, will come to an end in July. A small state, we are damn afraid what will happen to us, how we will survive. Please bear with me, I hope, because I am saying it here. But I want to say one thing. When I see you organizing and getting the best out of all your officers, they themselves sitting together will perhaps give a solution even to this, so that we smaller states will not suffer, whole country will prosper, and we will see that the dream of Narendra Modi ji of a 5 trillion economy becomes a reality with cooperation of all of you, and particularly the biggest role will be definitely played by the finance ministry. I am very confident. Once again, I compliment you and congratulate you, ma'am, for having given Goa this lovely gift of the museum. We will forever remain thankful, and we look forward to help for us in the future, and we look forward to your leadership, not only in the GST Council, not only in the Finance Ministry, even otherwise. You are such a figure, literally you get the best out of everyone. People get attracted to you, they come forward, explain, come with ideas like a magnet, and then you put it forward, and that's why things work so well. Wish you all the best on behalf of the people of Goa, on my own behalf, on behalf of all of us. Let us all work together as One nation, one tax, we say. Let us work as one people for our great country. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, sir. I'm now handing over the mic to Srimati Divya, Director, Department of Expenditure, for the next part of the program.
आमंत्रित सभी अतिथियों को मेरा नमस्कार। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव की श्रृंखला में आगे बढ़ते हुए हम याद करते हैं अपने 75 वर्ष के इतिहास को, जिसमें केंद्रीय बजट प्रगति के अपने गौरव योगदान की आर्थिक प्रगति की गाथा बता रहा है। आर्थिक कार्य विभाग माई स्टैम्प ऑन यूनियन बजट जर्नी एट 70 जनरल गोवा कि वे अपने विचार प्रस्तुत करें।
Honorable Ma'am, Union Finance Minister, respected Minister from the state of Goa, dignitaries on the stage, and my dear audience. Today is indeed a historic day, the first budget of free and independent India, presented on 26 November 1947, till we attain the latest milestone on February 1st, 2022, of setting the foundation of Amrit Kal. Respected Ma'am, one of the most powerful messages of women empowerment for modern India was delivered when you walked down the corridors of Indian Parliament to present the Union Budget, breaking every gender stereotype and motivating every Indian woman to dream and aspire. In closing. Coming to the postal stamp to be released today, it is indeed a story of the Union Budget profoundly. It is a set of 9 stamps depicting the decadal thrust areas of the Union Budget. It starts with the story of the young nation and its planned economy focus of the 1950s, to the Green Revolution of the 60s, nationalization of the 70s, communication as a thrust area for the 80s, the great decade of economic liberalization of the 90s, infrastructural needs of the nation in the 2000s, people's orientation in the 2010s, and finally, the digital economy of the 2020s. The latest budget presented by you, ma'am, provides a blueprint for the next 25 years for India at the rate of 100. There is also a special cover released today, which pictorially depicts both the places for the Union Budget, where it is painstakingly drafted, burning much midnight oil, and that too in secrecy, and where it is approved, that is the Parliament building. Like the Union Budget, the Connect of India post with this country and its countrymen is a long saga, throughout which we have been striving to build the nation with our uninterrupted service, being the boots on the ground, reaching the last mile of the remote corners. We have spearheaded financial inclusion, digital literacy, as well as gender-based budgeting initiatives as outlined in the different budgets. This special cover will not only celebrate the rich legacy of the Union Budget, but also the spirit of a united India. I, on behalf of the Department of Posts, hereby introduce and present the album of the special cover, the corporate milestone and the brochure to the Honorable Finance Minister. Thank you. Jai Hind.
धन्यवाद स्वाति मैम। इसी कड़ी में मैं अनुरोध करना चाहूंगी पीएमजी गोवा से कि वे आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के उपलक्ष्य में बने स्टैम्प एल्बम, स्पेशल कवर और ब्रोशर माननीय वित्त मंत्री को विमोचन करने के लिए भेंट करें। Union budget has been playing a pivotal role in moving the wheels of Indian economy since independence. Successive union budgets have not only given direction to the economy, but also have contributed significantly to the well-being of the citizens and overall development of the country. Let us watch a video which captures the journey of Union budget in the last 75 years.
Union budget has been an integral part of India's economic journey since independence and has contributed significantly to well-being of the citizens and overall development of the country. Years has been mirroring the evolving role of the Union of India as being protective, productive, and redistributive. This journey started with the presentation of the first budget of the free and independent India by Sri R.K. Shanmukham Chetty on 26 November 1947 in the Constituent Assembly of India. The total estimated expenditure for the 7.5 months from the 15th August was about 197 crore rupees, which in today's prices would be around 16,000 crore rupees. The second major milestone in the journey was the first budget of the Republic of India, presented by Sri John Mathai on 28 February 1950. It announced the proposal to request the House to set up the Estimates Committee and also announced the decision to set up the Planning Commission. The third major milestone was the first budget in the elected Parliament on 23rd May 1952 by Sri C.D. Deshmukh. Sri Morarji Desai presented 10 union budgets, most by any finance minister till date, evening at 5 p.m. That practice was changed in the year 1990. 2000 to 11 a.m. The journey so far had 76 regular budgets, 14 interim budgets, 4 special budgets. In the 50s, the focus was on the planned economy. In the next decade of 1960s, Green Revolution and defense occupied the focus. Nationalization was the focus in the decade of 1970s. Communication through expansion of telecom and television occupied the attention in 1980s. The next decade of 1990s saw the budget focusing on economic liberalization. The first decade of the current century focused on infrastructure, starting with the Golden Quadrilateral. The second decade of the current century focused on people orientation and efficient delivery of services. The budgets of the current decade focused on the digital economy and energy transition. The latest milestone
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and have entered into Amrit Kal, the 25-year-long lead up to India at 100.
The scope of the budget has also changed over the years. For almost the first railway budget of independent India was presented by Sri John stage of government's fiscal policy and would facilitate multi-modal transport planning between railways hired in the year 2017 to present the budget on 1st February to enable ministries and departments to operationalize all schemes right from the first day of financial year. Traditionally, the budget documents used to be presented in paper form. Those set of documents were carried in large bundles. Since 2021-22, the budget papers are presented in digital form. For enhancing access to the documents by the general public, an app was launched in the same year. In the 75 years of journey, some landmark budgets stand out. As we celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, commemorating 75 glorious years of independence, we salute the brilliance of people behind the budget making.
ये बजट अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूती देने के साथ ही सामान्य मानवी के लिए अनेक नए अवसर बनाए.
The successive budgets, the lifeline of nation's progress, are the torchbearers that have scripted the growth story of our nation with great determination to become Atmanirbhar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव एक पर्व है जो जोड़ता है अतीत को वर्तमान से और वर्तमान को भविष्य से। इस उपलक्ष्य में आज आइए हम सभी वित्त एवं वीडियो के साथ
देश सेवा की कसम, देश सेवा की कसम पूरी करी है, पूरी करेंगे हम। देश सेवा की कसम, देश सेवा की कसम। आजादी की बोझ से हम बंदे वचन की डोर से भारत के जनता संभाले लगाते हमने लिया था सेवा का प्रण, आज करें पुनः समर्पण। पूरी करी है, पूरी करेंगे हम। देश सेवा की कसम, देश सेवा की कसम।
आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव पर देश के सभी वित्त, बैंक, बीमा और सरकारी कर्मी देशवासियों की सेवा में पुनः समर्पित होने का प्रण लेते हैं।
मुस्कान की दौलत का हर घर हो एक खाता, विश्वास
देश सेवा का भाव कभी न कम होने की कसम लेते हैं।
पूरी करेंगे देश सेवा की कसम, देश सेवा की कसम। देश सेवा की कसम।
हमारे आइकॉनिक वीक की शुरुआत हुई थी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी द्वारा डिजिटल एग्जीबिशन के विमोचन के साथ, जिसका आधार था वित्त एवं कॉर्पोरेट कार्य मंत्रालयों के सभी विभागों की उपलब्धियों को प्रस्तुत करना। यह एक विजन था हमारी माननीय वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारामन जी का। एक संगम था विचारों की अभिव्यक्ति का, एक समन्वय था कार्यकलापों का। आज हम अपने आइकॉनिक वीक का समापन कर रहे हैं उसी तरह एक संगम से, जिसका नाम है सप्तधारा। यस, द टाइटल ऑफ आवर कॉफी टेबल ई बुक मीनिंग कॉन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ 7 स्ट्रीम्स। एक धरोहर हमारे आइकॉनिक वीक के दौरान हुए विभिन्न कार्यक्रमों का, जहां हर विभाग अपने अस्तित्व के साथ एक धारा के समान सम्मिलित हो रहा है एक बड़े संगम में। We are happy to inform you that this e-coffee table book will be uploaded in a very short while on the websites of Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. I would like to request Honorable Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs to launch the e-coffee table book with a click of the ribbon. Thank you.
Thank you, Divya. A special thank you to the entire team of Department of Expenditure for overall coordination and bringing together all the departments of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in celebration of the iconic week. The celebrations of the iconic week of the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs in the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav have been conceived directly from the ideations and vision offered by the Honorable Finance Minister. It is only her inspiration and imagination which all of us here have strived, hoping at least to a small extent to fulfill during the week gone by. I would now like to request the chief guest of today's function, the Honorable Finance Minister, to share her valuable thoughts with us.
Good evening. Minister who solidly represents Goa in the GST Council, Minister Movino, Secretary, Department of Economic Affairs, Secretary, Department of Revenue, Chairman of both the chairpersons of both the boards, CBDT, CBIC, members of the board, both the board secretaries, special secretary, and all invited guests. Today is the last day of the iconic week celebrations of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which the Honorable Prime Minister for the Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs commenced on June Monday, and today on Saturday we are coming to a conclusion in beautiful Goa in the presence of the Honorable Minister. I first of all thank all the officials of the Ministry, of the two boards, who have tirelessly worked in narrating the story of the Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs. I've said this before. Finance Ministry had its own reservations about how effective a campaign can be for a ministry like Finance and a ministry like Corporate Affairs. Because the kind of work that this ministry does involves so many things about which when you speak, you don't come out very effectively. After all, when you tax less, people like it. But when you tax on their time by talking to them, they don't like it. So how much can you speak? How much can you showcase by displaying your activities in the form of a book? Or in the form of a lecture, or there are so many such things which are normally not in the public notice. It was worth looking at, also not just for current years, but also looking at the past and putting it out in a very crisp form so that people can understand that this ministry can be seen from various different perspectives, which actually contributes to the national building. So we started with hesitation, but I must say, and today looks so many different variety of things that has happened. The particular song that we heard, Desh Ki Seva Mein, was so motivating. And I'm sure this can be, occasionally played in the ministry and also anywhere else in building the nation. But the variety astounds me as well. We are in the shores of Goa, on the Arabian Sea. On the other side you have on Puri's beach, beautiful view, beach of Puri. Sudarshan Patnaik also participating with the students. And the students are drawing from children's artwork, but essentially giving message both to children and for adults. So the ways in which the iconic week has been envisaged, the conceptualizing things, what can I say, are so motivating for me, are so inspiring for me. Can the ministry, which otherwise sits and works on budgets, which sometimes can be not so very interesting, come up with so many different ways of speaking about how this ministry actually with which people can, digital games with which people can be better informed. The story of the budget also so beautifully captured in that crisp form, in a concise way. That way, when people sit and watch, actually, what are these budgets in this week? The 7 departments, each of which did something to show what had happened in 75 years, and each of them now looking at the Amrit Kaal. And the Amrit Kaal is when all of us will have to work together so that this country be very proud of. So I think what was started by Honorable Prime Minister this week has been rich in activity, rich in puts, has put before you enough material to know what exactly the Ministry of Finance in its various departments, through various departments, and also the Corporate Affairs has done. And I would request each one of you, as and when you get an opportunity, at least one aspect of what has been shown here today or in the last 5-6 days, whichever suits your taste, you should be able to talk about it in your near and dear circles so that people get interested in the activities of government, and only then will there be a natural good curiosity to know about government, and that would make departments of the government to function with greater sense of alacrity. So when we talk about minimum government, it is only when people are watching us and watching us in a discerning way. And maximum governance is arrived at only when people ask the right questions and we are able to remove all the deadwood, undergrowth, and make it primed for a bright Amrit Kaal. So that 2047, we are all able to, through our own selves or through the books or through our children, are able to see that India is now such a country where our youth, where our children, where our future lies, and all of them will be proud about it. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. I invite Shri S.M. Tata, Chief Commissioner, CGST Pune, to deliver a vote of thanks.
Honorable Finance Minister and Minister for Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Minister for Transport, Industry, Panchayat and Protocol in the Government of Goa, Shri Mohan Godino, Secretary Revenue, Shri